the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here. The good sir Nathaniel Lundy alongside me. 'Tis indeed the Fade 5 podcast presented by Suavecito Tequila. And I needed all of the love juice imaginable yesterday after I lost a plethora of units, Lundy. Thankfully, we had a shootout in the Packers and Eagles game, so I was able to recuperate a few dollars lost. And college basketball kicked my ass over the weekend as well, though I had a profitable Sunday in that sport. I'm going to have some more picks in college hoops in bonus time a little bit later on, but can't we, for the love of the gambling gods, in this week 12 on a high note? We got Pittsburgh, we got Indy. The Colts are laying 2.5. They're at home, and the total is at 38.5. And you and I get emails from BetMGM every single morning to see where some of the action is. And one of the bigger curiosities that I've witnessed this season is the action on the total in this game. I don't know if you looked at that email. 70% of the handle is on the over. But the line has cascaded down. It was 45.5 at open, and at tape time, it's at 39 flat at BetMGM, 38.5 at DraftKings. So some interesting action of where that is going, and the book is trying to lure maybe some additional under bets to try to balance it out due to the line movement that's out there. But if you're all about the handle and you're an advocate for the where the money is stacked, it's clearly on the over. So slight lean initially here for an early pick for me on that over. But what do you like here? Colts minus 2.5, 38.5, 39 on that total.
Came crashing down here, the total all the way down, and then you turn around and you jump on top of it when it does that.
Yes.
I will take. I will take the over. I'm actually going for what I think is going to be an exciting game, Brad. I am going to take the Colts to win it 21-20.
Oh, interessante. I think it's going to be a similar output for me here in the end. So, again, I like to Bob Barker you. Usually that's a dollar. That means you take the under, but I'm going to go with the over in this scenario based on where the action is. I'm going to go 23-20 Indianapolis. So they're going to barely cover the 2.5. And, of course, as well, the over is going to hit. You need an excuse to watch Kenny Pickett and Matt Ryan. There you have it right there on the standard side, and also the total. What other action you got? Well, let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero 5 on the list today. Let's do an OGP/SGP. Come with me. Maybe you will, Lundy, on this one. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown. And it shows up to high heaven if you bet it individually. So really the only way you can attack this is to mix it together with something else, slap it together with something else. And I say, let's correlate, synergize, bring it all together. If I think Taylor is going to score a touchdown, I've already predicted that the Colts are going to win this game straight up. Why don't I just take Indy on the money line? And if Taylor scores a TD and Indy does get the victory, it's plus 150 at BetMGM. I mean, look at Taylor, last couple of games, 44 rush attempts, and he is healthy. He's looking springy. He's looking spry again. He's getting considerable yards after contact per attempt, 3+ in that category these last couple of games, and he's also scored a touchdown in back-to-back contests. Now, Pittsburgh's been relatively stout against the run this season, giving up 4.05 yards per carry, 88.2 rush yards per game, but they have surrendered 10 total touchdowns to the running back position in 10 games. So hopefully Taylor will keep the recency upward tick in order in this one. I say he scores a touchdown, and the Colts at home score the victory, and Jeff Saturday does a jig there on the sidelines as he gets another W. So, Lundy, are you willing to shake your moneymaker? Vader, follow me. Jonathan Taylor, TD, Indianapolis with a money line victory, plus 150 at BetMGM.
Shaking any part of my body, Brad, has never made me any money. I don't know what you're trying to imply. I mean, there's been plenty of times where a drunken, induced situation has caused me to shake various body parts, but it's never made me any money. I
Convulsions? I mean, you just randomly have seizures. That's never made you a dime here and there?
I think that could be convulsions could be the right way to describe any of my middle-aged white man dance moves. So I think that's basically we're pretty damn accurate. Look, I already I told you I'm on Indy to win this 1-1. You've got Indy winning it by 3, so I like the money line part of this. You're exactly right. A Jonathan Taylor touchdown is way too juiced up. So if you want to OGP, SGP, anything involving Taylor, you're going to have to make it a 2-legger, maybe even a 3-legger, in order to get yourself into a decent positive territory, just because of how his touchdown numbers continue to get juiced up. I like this one. This is a good, simple 2-leg, hopefully a one and done on the touchdown, maybe a first touchdown scorer, huh? Oh, a little extra juice in there. And then you just need Indy to be able to hold on against Pittsburgh. I like this one, plus 150. Nice odds at BetMGM.
Giddy up, Jonathan Taylor.
Number 4.
All right, let's go to the Steelers side of the action. I'm going to take the over on George Pickens, the rookie out of the University of Georgia. 18.5 yards on the longest catch, and I'm surprised this is not juiced up. Minus 115. Pull this from DraftKings. You look what Pickens has done this season. He is a deep ball extraordinaire. He is number 5. An average depth of target among eligible wide receivers, number 5 in total deep ball targets. And, you know, with Chase Claypool now in Chicago, he's seeing that increase in target share the last couple of weeks, and he's got a nice little rhythm that he's established with Kenny Pickett. He has hit the over on this 18.5 yards longest catch prop 10 times this year, and he has done it 7 times with Kenny Pickett at the controls. Now, the Colts only give it up 7.03 pass yards per attempt. They, generally speaking, do a pretty good job in over-the-top coverage, having that safety come over to disrupt long chunk gains. But I think Pickens gets the best of them on at least one of these opportunities. I'm really shocked this number's not higher. I thought it'd be above 20. And when I looked at it 18.5, I'd immediately smashed it. So, Lundy, fade or follow, are you as confident as I on George Pickens, 18.5 yards, longest catch on that over, minus 115 at DraftKings?
Give me some yak. That's what I want out of this one. He's capable of it. So, to me, this is, catch it at about maybe 9 yards down the field, and then just and take off down the field. That's what I want to see Pickens be able to do. I agree with you. I think this number should be higher. I think he's going to eclipse the 20 mark. So even if for some reason, folks, between now and kickoff, this thing moves, if it goes to 19.5, go ahead and play it. I think he's going to be north of 20 for his longest catch tonight. It's all about the yak, and I think Pickens can do it.
Chunk gains, Pickens. Munch on that.
Number 3.
All right, this is a guesswork part of the show because there is no prop available at tape time of the Fade 5 today, but I don't care what the number is. I am taking the over on Parris Campbell receptions. I think the number is going to open at 4.5. It could open at 5.5, and it could be plus odds on that over, quite frankly. And I would still take it whether it's 4.5 or 5.5. I wouldn't play it up to 6.5. No shot in hell. I don't think that number is going to be that high. So whatever the juice is, whatever book offers it, I am taking the over again on the catch prop with Parris Campbell. He has ran at least 24 routes in a game in 6 of his last 7. In his last 3 contests, 20 total targets. In the last couple of games, 7 catches and 5 catches from the veteran arm of Matt Ryan, who is a check down specialist. And Parris Campbell exclusively lines up in the slot. So that slot machine, you pull the lever, cha-ching, I think it's going to cash in because Ryan is always looking in the short field to make those connections and to feast and dissect the opposition. He's got to get a whole lot of Arthur Millette in coverage, who was out of the slot for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's given up a 73.5% catch rate and a 119.9 passer rating to his assignments. And the Steelers, as a whole, have allowed the 4th most wide receiver yards in the NFL this season. So, maybe you want to match this with his receiving yards, maybe take that down from The total, which is sitting right now at 45.5, take it down to like, I don't know, 35, maybe even 40. And then put it together with 4 or 5 receptions. You could do that, possibly get it at plus odds or a very low minus odds on that juice. But individually speaking, I love, yet I don't know, the Parris Campbell prop on the over receptions at whatever sportsbook, at whatever juice. Lundy, are you going to come with me on this one? Fade or follow?
This is fade or follow. This is okay. This is going out on like a Friday night with your buddies. Where are we going? Don't know. Are we driving? Are we taking an Uber? I don't know.
We're walking.
Are we meeting anybody? Not really sure yet. We might. And this is the, you son of a bitch, I'm in. How the hell am I supposed to follow this when I don't know what the hell the number is? Jeez.
Well, right. Okay. Let's speak in hypotheticals.
If it's at 5.5, yes, I will follow. I will take the over. If it gets to 6.5, no, I'm not touching it. There you go. There's my cutoff. You want to get food? Yeah. What are we gonna have? Don't really know. Just it could be. We could get some Mediterranean. Might be burgers and dogs. Don't really know yet. What are you with this crap?
Have a fine side of pate with Parris.
Number 2.
All right, with that out of the way, and again, there was just complete guesswork. We just, we're taking the over on Parris Campbell. It's not going to be 6.5. It's going to be 5.5. I do have an actual concrete number on this prop. And yes, of course, I'm going over because I'm always a glass half full type of individual. And I'm going to take the over on Najee Harris, 18.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at DraftKings, where I pulled this one. Look, Jaylen Warren's out of this game. So as a result, Harris is going to see a ton of the opportunity share. He's getting 76.6% on average on a per game basis. This could be like 90, 95%. He may not leave the field hardly at all in this game. 17.6 routes per contest, what he's averaging, only 4.9 yards per reception. When he catches the ball, does a lot of dancing, does a lot of Gregory Hines tap dance work in the open field. He needs to be more assertive when he catches the ball and get downhill quickly. But he's a guy that's seen at least 4 targets in 5 of his last 6. He has been over this number in 2 of his last 3. And here's the good news. The Colts are a premium matchup because they got up 5.8 receptions and 42.5 yards per game of the running back position. 10 guys out of the backfield have gone over this. Because of that umbrella coverage from the Indianapolis Colts, I think the checkdowns to Najee Harris will be front and center. And as a result, if he's assertive, get north and south, my man. He's got to hit the over here, probably reach 20 yards. So Lundy, fade or follow, Najee over 18.5 receiving yards, minus 115 at DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm just proud that you're talking about an actual bet and not just hypothetical bullshit. I'll follow you on this one. I like the over. You already brought up the numbers, the 5 points, 5.8, 42.5. The catches are there when you're a running back going up against this Colts squad. You're right. He's got to be assertive. He's got to get his ass downfield so that this doesn't turn into a catch and then like 2 yards. Because that kind of crap's going to piss me off. But I think he's good for at least 3 catches. If he does that and he goes with what the Colts are known to give up, he should easily get over this number. Again, with the way they've given up almost 43 yards a game, this should be a no-brainer for him. But Najee, when you get the ball, that's when your feet are supposed to move.
Go and move north, damn it, Najee Harris.
Number 1.
All right, how about an SGP/OGP for the number 1 top play in this game? And it's not on the Colts. I will have that in bonus time, Lundy, but it's on the Steelers. And I like Pat Freiermuth, 40-plus receiving yards. And let's correlate, synergize, bring it all together. Since I like Freiermuth, it's only natural that I take the guy who's going to be checking him the pill, and that's Kenny Pickett. It's just 195 plus pass yards. If you and I both believe that this game is trending toward the over it's going to be in the low 40s in the end instead of the high 30s where the line is at. This makes a ton of sense and follows and jives with our current psychology. So again, Fryer move 40 plus receiving yards, pick at 195 plus pass yards. That's plus 110. Not quite, middle baby seduced by the Jews with those shoulders at BetMGM. You look at Fryer, Muth. He has done this consistently this season. He's actually been over this in 3 of his last 4. He's number 4 in total air yards at the tight end position. 6 guys have reached the 40-yard mark at the tight end position against the Indianapolis Colts this season as they are giving up 4.5 receptions and 48 flat yards per game to TEs. You like the volume that he's seeing in terms of target share, getting 7.4 looks per game. So I think he's going to get this working, between the hash marks on some of those streak routes, and Pickett has a lot of trust in him. So 40 plus there. And then speaking of Pickett, he has been over this in his last 4 games. Now, the secondary analytics that are out there, not the most spectacular for Kenny Pickett. He is number 20 in air yards per attempt. And again, the matchup against the Colts isn't the most outstanding as they've got up to 7.03 pass yards per game and a little bit over 200 pass yards per game as well as what they have allowed this season. 6 guys, though, have reached 195 passing yards against him. So, again, Freiermuth, 40-plus receiving yards. We might beat up on the brow with the second leg here, but I think Pickett, toward the end, will get over this 195-plus pass yards. Both of those events occur. You're going to plus 110 at BetMGM. Fade or follow.
I don't like the Pickett part, man. I don't. I think you're talking about a lot of. I think you're not just sweating. I think you're. I think it's a full-on downpour. Trying to get to this one. The thing I like about the Freiermuth, his standard line is moved. It was at 43.5. Now it's at 44.5. It's even juiced to the over in terms of the performance that he's had. I mean, hell, he's Pittsburgh's leading receiver right now in yards. So that number has crept up. I like the fact that you brought that down to 40. I just don't trust the Pickett part of it, man. I think I got to fade this one because I don't trust him to get to 195, even though the Colts, what are they giving up on average? 209.9, something like that. I mean, it's right there, but you said it yourself, man. His advanced analytics are bad, dude. It's just, they're not there. They're not there yet. So I got to fade you on this one because I don't trust the 195. I like the Freiermuth leg. If you're looking to put together an OGP, SGP, folks, I like the Freiermuth at 40 plus. I just can't follow Brad on the Pickett at 195. I got to pick somewhere else to be able to roll the dice if I'm going to put together an OGP like that.
Oh, that's why we call it gambling. Come on, Kenny Pickett. Don't let me down. We also have some additional action. Naturally, it's only a Monday for Lundy and I, so it's bonus time. Good sir. What else do you have on your card? Enlighten me.
I don't have a ton on the card, in part because I'm still basking in the glow of being a complete homer for my Oregon State Beavers on Saturday.
Oh, not your Denver Broncos?
Oh, no. The fact that Hackett was allowed back on the plane is an absolute crime. When I got the email last night with the update that his media availability was going to be at 3:15, I was like, that media availability should be the GM talking about the fact that they have moved on, but whatever. Hey, I didn't spend $4.65 billion on the team. Somebody else can go have fun with that, do whatever they want. I'm going to take Matt Ryan for a pick at a minus 135. Yes, it is juiced up, but I don't care. I think Matty Ice will continue to be generous to the defenses. Remember, there's nobody that's given up more sacks in the NFL per game right now than the Colts. I think he's going to be under pressure, and I think because of that, they're going to put him into a mistake. So that's a minus 135 on that one. Beyond that, I don't have a great feeling about this game other than I think it's going to be exciting because I think it's going to be close. So I'm going to stay away from a lot of the other stuff that's going on in this game. I will leave that one to you. I will go to the ice in the NHL, which was very, very good to Mr. Lundy yesterday. The goals in the first 10, or no goals in the first 10 for that matter, happened to be very good. I got a 2-leg on the gift for you for tonight. on the early games, Tampa will be in Buffalo, the Lightning taking on the Sabres, take a goal in the first 10 in that one. Both of those teams have the gift happening at 70+% of their games so far this season. Then go to the late night, the latest game of the evening, 9:30 Eastern time. The Florida Panthers will be taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton gets the job done frequently, 72% of the time. So I'm putting a yes gift on both of those games. If you do that, the odds sit at a +135. Speaking of that Tampa game, give me a point for Steven Stamkos. He's got 23 points in the 20 games he has played so far, and we're going to pair that together with Rupe Hintz. Great name, Brad. I was thinking about calling you Rupe from now on. Rupe Hintz, who has 24 points in 21 games. Both of those guys are juiced way up to be able to have a point, so that's why we're putting the two of them together. You can get that at a +107, and then some late night hoops for you. I think they're going to hit 240 between the Pacers and the Lakers tonight, and the over-under is only at 234, so I am playing the over between those two squads, a little late night in the association. Take the over at 234.5.
All right, that's a good call there. I'll stick with the association. And my first pick is a player prop on Mikal Bridges of the Phoenix Suns. I will take the over 1.5 made threes at +120. Yeah, so get seduced by that juice against the Sacramento Kings, one of the fastest teams in the NBA, and one of the most surprising stories of the NBA so far are the Kings. Number 6 in pace, and they're one of the worst offensive squads along the perimeter. Second worst in the NBA, as a matter of fact, giving up 39.6% from way downtown. Bridges averaging 3.4 three-pointers attempted per game, making 46.9% of them. So hopefully this is like maybe a 6-7 attempt game for him for outside. I just need 2 to go through the cylinder, and we cash in at plus odds there. Let's go to college basketball before I go back to the NFL. 2 games that I really like tonight. Give me the Seattle Redhawks on the road against the Washington Huskies. And I know Washington is coming off the extraordinary high of taking out St. Mary's in overtime in their last game, but I think it's getting baked in to the line here. I like Seattle +6. The Seattle team this season's already knocked off Oklahoma, and they beat Utah as well. So they've taken out a couple of Power 6 opponents. And this is a team that, is a very good squad overall, as Seattle has, Seattle beat Portland. I was reading the wrong line. I was reading about Sam Houston, who had beaten Oklahoma and Utah, and they were in action tonight. And I also like Sam Houston +4.5. So there's a little double bonus time for you. But I do like Seattle, Chris Victor and company, number 17 in effective field goal percentage. Offense, or top 55 in offensive and defensive rebounding percentage. Washington, very porous on the glass, 155 plus in the rebounding percentages, and a team that has done a good job extending to the perimeter within that zone. But I think Seattle can penetrate. They can slash and dash at the cup, and they're going to keep this close. Remember, Washington did lose to Cal Baptist at home earlier this year. So +6 against a borderline tournament team in Seattle, I think is way too many points there. The other game of college basketball I like is Virginia Tech. I'm laying the 12 against Minnesota. Minnesota may be the worst team in the Big Ten this season. And it's going to be rough and rugged, especially look at what Purdue did over the weekend. The Va-Tech, extraordinary offensive team, number 18 in effective field goal percentage offense. They're shooting 58.6% inside the arc. And you look at Minnesota, they don't really force a whole lot of turnovers. They don't really defend the glass particularly well, and they are mistake prone in their own right. Number 299 in turnover percentage offense. So you don't rebound, you cough up, you don't shoot well. Virginia Tech at home, again, an efficient offense, should roll to a easy victory here, and it's -12. So I will lay the chalk there. And then finally in the NFL, another SGP that I like, give me Matt Ryan, 200+ pass yards, which he has done 7 times this season, all 7 games that he has played in. Give me Parris Campbell, 30+ receiving yards, for all the reasons I mentioned how much I like him out of the slot against the Steelers are giving up 100-plus passer rating in those instances. And they give me Michael Pittman, 55-plus receiving yards. That's plus 120 at BetMGM. Pittman has hit the over on 55-plus in 6 games this season, and he's number 15 in YAC. Again, the Steelers have allowed the 4th most yards to wide receivers this season. So Pittman, 55-plus, Campbell, 30-plus, Matt Ryan, 200-plus, correlate, synergize, bring it all together. I think that melds into a nice victory at plus 120. All right, we are out of time here on the Fade 5 podcast. Do us a favor for the love of the gambling gods and drop us a rating and review if you enjoy or get anything out of this podcast. Hell, if you fade us all the time and you're making some moolah, congratulations.
That's how you make money with me. Whatever I say to do in the NFL, just literally start laughing maniacally and then bet the exact opposite.
Yeah, take the opposite, make some moolah here in the end. Drop us a rating and review at your convenience, and follow us too on the Twitter. Follow Nate Lundy at Nate Lundy. All of his picks are in the spreadsheet, so it's very convenient and easy way to fade or follow his selections. And I do the same at Noisy Huevos. That's it. Until next time, as always, fade or follow. That is up to you.